Reaction content has been a part of YouTube for a very long time. And when we look at the state of reaction content today, it leaves so much to be desired. Reaction content has always been the hot topic of discussion, such as the case with Jinx in 2016, or the Fine Bros trying to copyright the entirety of reaction content and the word react. And much more recently, Sniper Wolf just saying cookie cutter phrases that can't be used with any video, no matter what the context is, like,
"This is nuts. Like, I cannot even believe what I'm seeing right now,"
at the end of every video she reacts to. Or perhaps streamers with no substance that sit down and react to videos, not really engaging or giving meaningful commentary, and oftentimes focusing on other things like eating or ripping a bong, or just letting the video play in the background while they go to the bathroom. It goes to the topic of stealing content that overshadows people who correctly do reaction content, such as the late great Etika.
Oh my fucking god! That's all we needed!
Or Charm Freshcut Slim.
Baba Boo, Baba.
What is up, you guys? Baba Booey.
Who actually react to the content, oftentimes pausing to give commentary and sometimes go back to ensure they've seen parts of the video correctly. But somehow, someway, I'm surprised to even tell you that with boring streamers basically redistributing content from other channels, these are actual people reacting to a video in front of them. So even while they barely react or give any meaningful banter, they're still present physically and actually watching the video. And that reaction content has hit a new low. Yes, it has gotten much worse now. But it's not green screen kids. Hey, remember them? Not too long ago, there was this epidemic of kids stealing content and putting their faces on it, but surprisingly, even that, as annoying as it was, they were actually still reacting to the video, more or less. But before we go further, what makes a reaction video good? To keep it short, first of all, it's to have a distinction between transformative fair use and just blatantly stealing a video. When you're adding meaningful commentary, actually looking at the thing, even rewinding to make sure you got something right, you're in many ways giving something to the audience, something they wouldn't get from the original video alone. Fair use is not a cop-out word you throw around to avoid responsibility. It's an actual legal principle that protects things like criticism and commentary, which is often what reaction content is supposed to do. But you actually have to do those things. You can't just barely react to a video and call it a day. So, now that I got this out of the way, let's talk about the real problem. So, this problem with reaction content relates to something called Gacha reacts. Now, Gacha in general is a confusing and hit-spitting topic I really don't want to get into, but lucky for you, I have to tackle it. Because they are the laziest, most creatively bankrupt subgenres YouTube has ever produced. If you have never seen a Gacha video before, or even the game itself, it's a dress-up game with anime characters that you can customize in a lot of ways, pose in a lot of ways, and somewhere in the late 2010s, people have decided they can use those functions to make animations, or lack thereof. Basically same to Garry's Mod, just without the charm or the crazily high skill ceiling that Garry's Mod animations have. Most people who play Gacha Life are kids, usually no older than 15 years old, and most of the videos pertain to poorly made animations, sometimes veering into questionable fetish content, or the same 5 plots recycled. And most bafflingly, these videos seem to have lots of views, despite in many ways qualifying to being referred to as slop content. Though, to give credit where it's due, some animations actually look halfway decent, but then again, it's still Gacha. But that's the brief crash course of explaining what Gacha is. Now to the actual problem with Gacha reactions. They follow the exact same setup, characters sitting down around the screen, saying generic words to scenes, and not really providing any meaningful commentary. Which technically, if you can just zoom into the screen, it's almost exactly like watching the original video, which is a huge red flag of unfair use. There is also a very identical subgenre to it called fandom reacts, but it's just the exact same thing, only with the characters designed to be ones from popular media, mostly FNAF, Undertale, or Has-Been Hotel to name a few. But they're really just the exact same for the most part. Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass, if you will. The concept in theory sounds alright, to have characters react to a video. There are actually some really good examples like SCP-682 and SCP-999 react to Happy Tree Friends by The Haunted Reader. And that video is 10 years old, by the way. It's done in a way that actually adds something new, with the characters interacting and reacting in ways true to their character. Somewhat. It gives you something you wouldn't get just by watching the original Happy Tree Friends video. This is a proper usage of fair use. Gacha reacts don't really transform anything about the original video in a fair way. They take existing videos, slap on a handful of barely animated characters, and call it a day. The dialogue is generic at best, like,
This is nuts. Like, I got
phrases that could fit literally any video. Basically taking notes from Sniper Wolf. Sometimes the characters don't even move or speak, they just sit there like decoration while the original video plays almost entirely unedited between them. It's a form of content thievery and disrespect to the original creators, and the algorithm encourages these garbage videos with minimal effort that drown original videos and gives a big problem. That being the fact most of the people who watch these videos are kids. It adds a negative impact on children and young creators learning what content creation really means, and makes them prefer to watch characters crowded around a video instead of the actual video. Exactly similar to content farms like Lankybox. And when the algorithm pushes these low-effort videos to the front page, it sends a message that anyone can get views without effort, and that hurts creators who actually put time and thought into their videos. It lowers the bar for what counts as good content, and that's a loss for everyone watching and making videos. And yeah, of course, some people will say, "Oh, you're just jealous." And yeah, you're right, I am jealous. Jealous on working on videos and saying Hail Mary hoping it gets a decent amount of views, only for it to just bomb. And watch people easily get more videos by making meaningless content. Fact is, that's why I even made the video in the first place. I saw this crap pop up in my YouTube studio and it just really got to me. It felt like everything wrong with the platform shoved right into my face. And yes, I know how selfish it sounds to bring myself to say that I make better content because, more or less, I do. But there are also smaller creators who make decent content even better than me. And we small creators just don't happen to get the rightful engagement we deserve. While we watch copy and paste lazy formats steal videos with zero editing or zero commentary, just static characters on a stolen video doing all the work. And because it feeds the algorithm, it wins. That's what we're up against. It really makes you wonder why even bother putting in effort. Why try to be original or put any effort when the fastest way to grow is, of course, to just do the bare minimum and let the system carry you. Now look, I expect nothing more from garbage content, but to defend and excuse it as, well, it's kids content, or, you're just jealous, is disingenuous and careless. And it's people who have these beliefs that are causing this site to sinkhole. Kids content does not have to be brain dead, but the second you start using for kids as an excuse to justify garbage, you become part of the reason this place is becoming a landfill of recycled trash that buries anything with actual effort. And to use, "Oh, you're just jealous," as an excuse really puts away deeper discussion. Yeah, just throwing it out like a cop-out, like, yeah, I'm jealous. But why am I jealous? Because I try to make decent content, of varying degrees of course, and all I get is either 70 views at worst or 700 views at best, with not much growth or engagement. And I watch talentless wannabes steal content and suddenly they get all the attention? I'm not saying to go harass them, of course, no. I'm bringing out a legitimate concern as a creator on the site. And I hope that this manages to catch up to a larger channel, and maybe it'll snowball from that point. And this is another chapter in the novel called The Problem with Reaction Content, and it'll likely be a continuing problem that'll probably bifurcate and become a different issue. And that's it, that's the video. Just think about this. Think about what you watch, think about what you support, and if you're a creator, don't let this be the standard you settle for, and by God, keep making decent content, we'll make it out someday. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Barty, signing out. Peace.
Douchebag.